All right, so now I just wanted to quickly mention about the calm down techniques. So this is what I'm expecting. To show my screen to you. No, we're still on that. Okay, so going back to this page, I have a section here that's talking about calm down techniques. And so what my expectation is when you are doing, like when you're looking at calm down techniques and giving them a try, my expectation is that it's going to be something other than physical activity. The reason why I say that is because you're already doing some great physical activity here. And this is going to be something that is not getting out a lot of energy. This is going to be something more where you're calming your mind down. All right. And I know for some people, definitely workout, like exercise, helps calm their mind down too. So I'm not saying anything against doing exercise as a way to calm down. It's a great, great technique. I just want you to try some other things as well. That's what I'm getting at. So there are some different guided mindfulness scripts here that are quite helpful as far as whether you read it out to yourself or if you had it where maybe you had a parent that read it out for you, something to that effect. You can also, I'll skip down here quickly, you can also have it where you search up some videos on YouTube that are going to do with guided relaxation or body scan mindfulness. There's some really great ones that come up that help you be able to just calm things down with your mind. I also find it so helpful to be able to start being aware of what's going on in your body. Because I know for me, when I get anxious and stressed out, I'm in my head as far as like, I just feel kind of stuck. I feel like I'm in this downward spiral of thoughts that are just making me feel anxious and overwhelmed. And so with that being said, something like this is really helpful because what happens is it helps get you out of your head. It helps have it where you are starting to pay attention to what's going on in your body as well. And while you're paying attention to what's going on in your body, you're also being mindful in calming it down, relaxing it. And so I have found that listening to things like this, and not saying it's a cure-all, and that especially if I'm feeling really anxious or really stressed, I'm not saying that I'm going to feel 100% better after that, but it does help a lot. So things like this can be a great option. This video here, the first minute, is him just quickly explaining the effectiveness of the just being able to do a body scan, mindfulness, meditation. Those are really handy. Anyway, so there's that as an option. There's some great breathing techniques. I've done the 4-7-8 one before, and that one is where you breathe in through your nose and you try to breathe in for 4 seconds, and then you hold it for 7, and then you let it out very slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. And when you do that, that actually, it kind of like it resets your brain. Like looking at this document that I gave you, gave the link for on there, it just helps being able to relax your brain, helps calm it down. It's actually been scientifically proven to help with that. There's some other ones on here too, some weird names that I don't understand all of it, but there's some that actually might be helpful. You never know, like the alternate nostril breathing and stuff. Give it a try. Anyway, so those are some great ones, some breathing techniques, some guided relaxation and body scan mindfulness. Also, things that you can do is create a T-chart and have it where you simply write down on the left side everything you feel stressed out about, and on the right side, you know what? Look in the scripture. Ask God for his wisdom. What does he say instead? It's like, you know, if you feel like you have no idea what to do, you can't figure something out, well, guess what? God says in James 1 verse 5, ask for wisdom. He'll generously give it. If you're feeling like there's just nothing good about you, well, guess what? He created you with delight. He calls you good. He called all of his creation good. And then he also said that he made you in his image, male and female. And then here, I can't do it. You know, maybe you just feel like, well, I just can't do it. It's hopeless. Well, then guess what? You actually are able to do all things through Christ who gives you strength. And you can focus your thoughts on what God says. You have power over your mind because his ways and his thoughts are higher than ours. So those are some things you could try. And then what you can do is declare everything that's on this side here. Those are things that you can say out loud over yourself each day. I am filled with God's wisdom. God created me with delight. He calls me good. I am made in his image. I can do all things through Christ. I can focus my thoughts on what God says. Things like that. You would have it where you would just say it over yourself each time. The Go Noodle website does have a mindfulness section as well. You'll even notice that some of these things do have some mindfulness activities built into it as well. I haven't looked at all of them. I got some of those resources from some other teachers that I know, but from what I could see, there's some really great options in there. You could also just try things like drawing, coloring, talking to an adult, journaling, listening to worship music, or just calming music. You could have it where you read a book or read the Bible, pray, things along those lines. I want you to give it a try. And you're going to be just trying out something new each week. Try out something new that is a calm down technique. And then you're going to have it where you have two things you have to do. First one that you have to do is you're going to make a copy of this document, and you're going to tell me, what did you try? So what was the technique that you tried today for Wednesday, May 6th? What did you try? Then what would you recommend about it? Maybe you didn't like the whole thing, but maybe there's parts of it that you liked. So then tell me that. And then is there anything about this technique that you did not find helpful? Write that down. And then how effective was this technique in helping you calm your body and mind? Was it really effective or barely effective at all? And this document here, this is the document that I am going to be sharing with the entire class when it's all done. So please make sure that you're clear about what technique you tried and what you do recommend, what you don't recommend, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you're very clear, because this is going to be something that will eventually be shared with the entire class. Please keep that in mind. But this one is not something you have to share every single time. I'll tell you when you need to share this document with me, but just make sure you are filling it out each week. Last thing that you'll do is you're going to have it where you're going to fill in this logbook. And you'll just have it where each week you're going to fill this in. You're going to tell me what you tried, how many times did you practice it, how much time did you spend. If you're having it where you're only spending about 30 seconds to a minute on a calm down technique, then you should be having it where you spend probably at least up to 5 minutes trying to calm things down. So maybe try a couple different calm down techniques then if you need to. But I want you to be spending at least about 5 minutes doing it. And I want you to try it more than once, because sometimes the first 1 or 2 times doesn't work great, but maybe the second or third time, or the third or fourth time, you're like, hey, yeah, this actually is helping. Last one is, how effective would you say it was in being able to calm you down? And then would you recommend it? So that's what you're going to have to fill in each week. This is what you send me, like what you submit each week. And this document here, this is just what you have it where you use for your own notes. And this is going to be what I share with the entire class once this is complete. All right, hopefully that made sense. We'll see. I might make some tweaks along the way, but for right now, let me know if you have any questions. I'm more than willing to answer them, but have fun with it. And I think it's great just to be able to get active in different ways, but also find ways to calm things down. Both of those things are equally important. All right, take care.